Respect, lovely people. Welcome back to the channel. Today, lovely people, we are in Ghana. We are diving into a very important story. The visit of Ghana's President John Dramani Mahama to Japan this August. And in this particular visit, we have a lot to unboss. You know, we heard Ghana. When I look at Ghana, lovely people, honestly speaking, I pity the entire country. Because we have been divided through politics to the level where even when an enemy is coming, we can't see that enemy is coming. If the nation is drowning, we can't see that the nation is drowning. We are so divided to the point that even if opportunity is coming, we can't even see the opportunity. I'm being honest with you. Lovely family, in Ghana, we heard that the president went to Japan. And when we heard the news, or the news came out, everybody heard the news. The majority heard the news that the president went to Japan. But lovely family, the conversation champion on the internet is not connected to what is the president going to do in Japan. How can we take advantage of any opportunity coming from the trip of the president? No, the conversation is not about what is the purpose of the visit. No. The conversation is rather centered around which plane the president took to Japan. This is a conversation championed by the opposition party to drift the attention of the youth away from the real deals and bigger picture, the reason why the president went to Japan. A lot of things that were uncovered, and opportunity that is looking into the face of Ghana together with its youth. But the youth are interested in which plane the president went to Japan with. If it is a commercial plane, then we can criticize it. If he went in there with his brother's plane, then we can use that against him. Or if it is a private jet, then we can equate it with how Akufo-Addo, the former president, destroy our money through expensive trips to equalize the wrongdoing, as Johnny's bite will say. So that was the conversation in the country when the president went to Japan. I can tell you of a fact that the majority of the youth in Ghana who heard that the president went to Japan, they heard it. And they were also part of the conversation of which plane he went to Japan with, because it became a big trend. But I tell you that majority of these same people who heard that the president went to Japan, they can't tell you what happened in Japan, why he went to Japan, what is the outcome of the Japan. So lovely people, I took it upon myself. You know, many of the time I don't talk about Ghana so much because the country is so divided politically. So while many people at home were caught up in politics and gossip, something far bigger was happening on the international stage, lovely people. This trip is not just about Ghana. One thing you need to understand, it was about the future of Africa, Africa's opportunity and Africa's place in the world. Something new is happening. And at the center of it all, a huge event called the TICAD, TICAD 9th. This is the 9th edition. So this is the TICAD. That was the big, huge event called the TICAD, the Tokyo International Conference on African Development. That's what it stands for. So lovely people, this particular visit to Japan, a whole lot of things are hanging around it. So let's break everything down together. Maybe the youth will take a pieces from it before they continue with their political jagas. Everybody know that the reason why I don't talk about Ghana too much is because the country is too divided. Nobody can say that official survivor, you talk about other countries, you neglect home. You can't say that. I talk about Ghana when it becomes very necessary because you are too divided in this country. Political colors. Your eyes can't see unless you wear political glass. You can't even see them trying to project opportunity and give you detail. You will be looking at me as a propaganda machine for the NDC because the president is an NDC member. We have a long way to go as a nation. So let's get right into it, lovely people. I urge you to like the video and also subscribe to be part of the family in case you're not part of the family, and put us on notifications, okay? Now, the President John Dramani Mahama's trip to Japan was not a holiday. It was part of a serious diplomatic and economic engagement in Japan. Arriving in Japan, the president actually met with leaders, Japan leaders, and joined other African representatives at the TICAD summit in one of the cities in Japan called Yokohama. All right, he even met Antonio Guterres, the UN Secretary General. All right, now what does this actually matter? This matters because Japan is one of the world top economy actually, with cutting-edge technology, strong industries, and a history of rebuilding itself from ashes into poverty. As of now, most of the African nations, all of us who started from ashes, we are still struggling in ashes. So at least Ghana and other Africa countries have a lot to gain from such a partnership of a country that has so much experience. If this deal and these meetings and engagement are actually approached wisely. Let's first of all start with the TICAD now itself, because this is where the bigger picture of the whole trip lies. TICAD, TICAD, stand for Tokyo International Conference on Africa Development. The TICAD started in 1993, and the goal has always been to bring Japan, Africa, and international partners like the United Nations together to discuss development, not aid. All right, development, not aid. So this year in Japan was the 9th edition under the theme Co-Create Innovative Solution with Africa. Notice something, the wording, co-create. Okay, that means Africa is not just receiving help, or Africa is receiving help and aid. No, Africa is supposed to stand as an equal partner. So it's not Africa asking for help or aid, but it's about partnership. Let's look at the highlight of the TICAD. In the spotlight, the youth were in the spotlight in TICAD. For the first time, African youth had their own platform called Agenda 2055. At TICAD, at this meeting, African youth had this platform. They shared their visions of the Africa the youth of Africa want to see. So this is historic because the future belongs to the youth. That is one thing. And now they have a voice at such a high level stage. That's beautiful. That's big news. Now, technology and AI was also in the conversation. Japan is committed to training 30,000 AI experts in Africa within 3 years. So Ghana will be included. All Africa countries will be included. But when the youth are ready to learn, then they can take advantage of it. Because so long as Ghana is concerned, the youth are not even interested in this. They are interested in useless trend. My youth are not interested in this. So I'm afraid we are going to miss this opportunity, by the way. Because the youth are driven away with partisan politics, so they can't see when opportunity is coming. On the other side of the conversation, trade and economy was also in the spotlight. Japan announced billions of loans and partnership. And we are not talking about Western loans that come with control and all that. No, genuine loan based on mutual terms and respect. You understand? And one key idea of the meeting, the entire meeting, which is so beautiful and beneficial to Africa, was the creation of an India Ocean African Economic Zone, which could connect this particular initiative could connect Africa more closely with Asia and the Middle East. And this will help us boost trade and industrial growth in Africa. I followed the meeting critically. The last conversation at TICAD was focused on renewable energy, sustainable infrastructure, and support for peace building in conflict areas within Africa and beyond. And so in short, TICAD was about partnership, innovation, and Africa taking its rightful place in global development. And I'm going to show you how Mahama went in there and sold the country out to investors, build investors' confidence into the country. So let's bring it back home, lovely people. Let's bring the meeting back home. Let's talk about how President John Dramani Mahama sold Ghana's economic progress to the Japanese audience at the big TikTok forum in the Japan city. John Dramani Mahama, the president of Ghana, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, he didn't just go there to smile as usual, shake hands and take pictures. He went there with a mission. The mission was to convince investors that Ghana is ready, stable, and open for business, because investors must have confidence in your economy before they can invest in your country. He made them understand that the inflation is under control. Mahama explained that not long ago, Ghana was struggling. Inflation was very high, around 23%, but today it has dropped about 13%, and the government is actually working hard to bring it down even further. This means that prices are becoming more stable, and investors out there don't have to fear wild economic swings. He spoke also about the big comeback of the city. You see, the president is selling the economy out so that the people can come in here and invest in the country. It can give job opportunity to the youth, but the youth were interested in which plane he took there, so that we can criticize him. Let me leave that out. The next thing the president did was he proudly spoke about the Ghana cedi. For years, the Ghana cedi was weak and unstable, but this year made them understand that the Ghana cedi has become the best performing currency in the entire world. That is not just good news for Ghana, lovely people. It is a big signal to foreign investors that Ghana is serious about managing its economy. And one of the things that investors were so much in love with was the credit rating upgrade that happened in Ghana. At the meeting, investors and the audience, they were happy to hear that Ghana's international credit rating has improved so much. From being considered as junk status, it has now been upgraded to a B rating with a stable outlook. The president was so confident that if the current trend continues, Ghana will be upgraded again soon. What does this mean, lovely people? It shows that the world financial institutions now trust Ghana more than before. And Mahama went on further to make them understand that Ghana is now easier to invest in, because he also spoke about new reform that make it easier for businesses to enter Ghana. Before, if you were foreign business investors, you needed a huge amount of money, sometimes hundreds of thousands of dollars just to start. But now things have changed. The rules have been relaxed. Even smaller investors with $50,000 to $100,000 can come in and start business or start a business in Ghana. So this opened the door for more people, not just the big, corporations, more people to come in to start business in Ghana. And more business in Ghana give more job to the youth. But the youth are interested in which of the party I should belong to. We are interested in which political party, what is the opposition saying, so that we are being manipulated. Now, the President John Dramani Mahama didn't stop there. He reminded the audience that Ghana is the home of the African Continental Free Trade Area Secretariat, and this gives investors access to a massive 1.4 billion people market across Africa, all with reduced trade barriers and tariffs. In simple terms, lovely people, if you set up in Ghana, you are not just selling to 34 million Ghanaians. You are reaching the whole Africa continent at once. From there, lovely people, the president of Ghana highlighted some key areas that investors can come in and invest in. Energy was the first one. He made them understand that Ghana is pushing for more renewable and reliable power. He spoke about tourism, showcasing Ghana's history, culture, and attractions. He spoke about infrastructure and ports, especially the modern Tema port. He spoke about digital economy, encouraging growth in tech and innovation. He's attracting or directing the attention of the investors into key areas that they can come and benefit from. And the president closed his message with a powerful closing line. He said, Ghana is open for business 24 hours a day. He wanted investors to see Ghana not just as another African country, but a safe, stable, and profitable gateway to Africa. So, lovely people, in front of the Japanese business community, the president of Ghana didn't just talk about politics or talk politics. He gave them real numbers, real progress, and real reason to trust Ghana's economy. That is how you turn an economic speech into a strong business speech. Before we go into what the Japanese brought on the table, the question is the youth of Ghana ready if the opportunities are in? Before we even talk about are they ready, are they even doing research to know that there's opportunity coming or there's opportunity in the country? No, nothing like that. The same youth who are crying that, oh, we want job, of course. We want opportunity. When the president traveled out, we are interested in which plane he took out, instead of finding out why is the president out of the country and what is the purpose. After the meeting, okay, the president is back. What is the outcome? How can I take advantage of the opportunity that the president brought home? No. Wake up the next day and say, yeah, we need job. Let's drop that aside and talk about what this actually means for Ghana specifically. Let's look at the education and the youth opportunity aspect. If Japan is training AI experts, Ghanaian students should be in the front line, according to my understanding or my view. So we need our schools and universities to plug into this opportunity, not just let them pass by. There were business and trade discussed at the meeting, which means that Ghana entrepreneurs must think global. Energy and infrastructure was on board. So with support for renewable energy, Ghana, we can reduce our dependence on costly fuel import and explore solar wind. Not only that, we can also take advantage of the hydro in partnership with Japan. But here's the catch, lovely people. These things we are talking about, it requires vision from the leadership and seriousness from our side as youth of this country. Japan can provide tools, but if Ghana does not prepare its people, or the people are not prepared, if Ghana, we don't prepare our industries and institutions, we may miss the chance, just like we have missed many before. And the youth, in Ghana, the youth, in some part of Ghana, not all the youth, we have beautiful, amazing youth in Ghana. Our phones, after our phone are freezing, we are trying to handle the freezing of our phone. Our youth are also freezing in the name of red. So something they call red. So we are in the country where your laptop will freeze, your phone will freeze, and your youth also, they are freezing because of drought. Anyway, one thing we cannot overlook is that TICAD is not just about Ghana. This is about the whole continent. But here is true. Africa has been attending international conferences for decades. From TICAD to the EU Summit, from America's AGUA to China African Forum. The question is, what do we really gain? Let us hope that things will change a little bit this time. And this is why Pan-African unity is so important. If Ghana alone negotiates with Japan, the benefits are limited. But if ECOWAS or even the African Union negotiate as a bloc, Africa has a stronger bargaining power. So instead of being divided and weak, we can actually stand tall together as a bloc and say that we want technology transfer, we want equal trade, not exploitation. We want investment that empower African workers, not to drain our resources. This is the mindset of Captain Ibrahim Traore, Assimi Goïta of Mali, General Tiani of Niger. These are the ideas they are pushing forward. So family, here's the point. John Dramani Mahama's trip to Japan and TICAD 9 was not just another diplomatic event. It was a reminder that Africa stands at a crossroad. The opportunities are real: technology, education, trade, and renewable energy. But the question is, will Ghana and Africa rise to the challenge? Or we will once again let history pass us by? The choice is ours. Most importantly, the youth of Ghana, I think we need to shift our focus from this political divide and useless conversation than to deal with the right thing. One thing the opposition do in the name of politics is that both MPP and DC, they know this game. When the president travel out of the country to sign deals and contracts and, propose, call investors into the country and whatever it is, and there's going to be opportunity for the youth to catch up with. The opposition, their job is to drive your attention away from that so that you don't see the opportunity, because if it favor you, the next election will favor that government, which through you became somebody. So they need to drift your attention away. So understand this and be smart, lovely people. Anyway, let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Respect.